Good morning. I'm Maria DeRosa, and this is Desert Life with Maria. I'm in my kitchen in Rancho Mirage, and today, inspired by this lady, Racheal Ray, and our national holiday, which is National Meatball Day, we're going to be doing an Italian version of meatballs. Yeah. But what's really even beyond amazing, being a foodie, is that I have the joy of doing this with a sous chef, a really good friend, Peggy Hardy.
Ta-da.
So we've been practicing social distancing, and I've had my shots, so we're okay to be here.
Shots are safe.
So
Make us safe.
Peggy, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to get into doing some meatballs.
Well, I moved to Palm Springs about 6 months ago. My husband and I have retired a year earlier than we planned. We used to have a restaurant in Santa Barbara, California, right near the university, right on the water, on the beach. Lovely, lovely. Found out my dear friend Maria, who was a freshman in high school with me, and we reacquainted when I came down here, is also a former
restaurant owner.
So here we are, getting ready to make meatballs together.
Yes, I mean, what better? Two
Right.
former people, we really know our stuff. But this lady has probably one of the most simplest recipes ever. And Peggy and I decided we'd add kind of some special touches. So I'm going to tell you how we're doing this while she digs her hands in.
And I'm going to be the sushi.
Right. So
Okay.
she's going to hold up and show you right now our meat. We are actually using, instead of ground sirloin, which is very standard, we're going to use a bison. And the
Yummy.
reason we're using a bison, hi Marilyn, thanks for watching. For those of you that don't know, right, bison is cleaner, it's leaner, it has less fat, hardly anywhere near the amount of calories that ground sirloin is. But the reason it's so popular, it's buffalo meat, and the buffalo are grass-fed.
Important.
It's super important right now because we're trying to get back to a really good, healthy, plant-based environment, and being grass-fed can't be any better. No. So that's what we're using. Okay, so she's going to be my little sous chef here, and we're going to go through some really simple, basic recipes. And the fun thing, there's no mess up.
Yay.
So we're going to start off with our breadcrumbs. Every Italian meatball has breadcrumbs, and Peggy's going to be putting in, how much, Peggy?
It says a half a cup.
A half a cup. And we're using organic because I'm spicing up the breadcrumbs with our own flavor. And this is pure, nice, organic bread that has been toasted, cut up. So there you go.
Bread.
Next thing, we're going to add, what do you think that is, Peggy? What does it smell like to you?
Wonderful. Onions and parsley
now,
chopped up.
Right, and you just put in what you think. This is the fun part. We're doing ours, what we think will make. Go ahead, girl.
I like a lot.
Okay, so she's putting a lot.
I bet I used a quarter of a cup.
Probably a quarter cup. Now this is another important ingredient for any Italian, your Parmesan. Believe it or not, this one from Costco is not only cost effective, it's actually really good. So how much are we putting in on this one?
It says a quarter cup.
Quarter cup. And this is now Racheal's recipe, a quarter cup on the cheese. Again, we may or may not add a little bit more, but I think it's just about right.
Okay.
Now, this is where I feel she is truly a Sicilian, which Racheal, she uses garlic. So we're using
lots of garlic.
Lots of garlic, but on her recipe, she put
1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon, but we might add another, who knows, because we love our garlic. And again, this one from Costco is really nice because it's been chopped up and it's really kept pretty good. That's perfect.
Love it.
And Racheal says to use 1 egg. Now, I have seen different people use more depending on how much breadcrumbs they use or if they want a different texture. But I think in our case with the really good meat, I think the 1 egg is going to be more than sufficient.
I'm not Racheal when it comes to chopping.
Oh, that's okay. We have our other talents, right?
We have better talents. Good talents.
We had to get people to come into the restaurant. It wasn't necessarily because we cracked eggs well, right?
No, it was our charming smile.
It was our charming smile. One of the things that's necessary.
Okay, I got it.
And I think Racheal really has that mastered.
Oh, she does.
Okay, so then this is a very important ingredient, and you know what? This is not. Is this the Worcestershire? No, this is not the Worcestershire sauce, is it?
It's A1.
A1. Let me get. See, it's a good thing I read it.
You're looking.
We need Worcestershire sauce. Okay, people. This is why it's important to know your ingredients. So we need 2 teaspoons of that.
2 teaspoons.
Not A1.
Worcestershire.
Okay, so that goes. And this one's an organic one that actually I found at Albertsons. Very inexpensive, and I like the ingredients because it boils down to just like 3 basic ingredients.
You know, it might be fun to try A1 sometime.
Yeah, it might be just for something fun, but we don't want to deviate too much from her recipe.
Not today.
And then lastly,
okay,
this is what's interesting. Racheal just uses salt and pepper. Now, if you know true Sicilians and northern Italians, most of them, that's all they do, just a tinge of whatever. And they know. But what I did is I used sea salt, because it's not iodined, and then basic pepper that's been ground, and I put in fresh crushed lavender.
Really?
So that became my little spice.
Yeah.
What do you think? So I think
Smells
one of
good.
those is enough. What is that? Hi, Marilyn. Oh, you're making meatballs today too. Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
A tablespoon of your special seasoning.
Okay, so now we're gonna just, and her hands have been washed,
Yeah, I
and so
scrubbed
have
them
mine.
out.
You guys, this is the best part because you can't mess it up. Now, while she's doing that, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you and your husband, and when you start feeling good about it, we'll start making the balls. But tell us how you guys got into it. And in the meantime, I'm gonna put a little olive oil on our pan here, Warren,
All right.
and move it around. Go ahead, tell us a little bit.
That's a good mix or a little more?
Oh, I think you can maybe a little bit more.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, my darling David started in the restaurant business as a bartender back 50 plus years ago when he was a student at UCSB, University of California, Santa Barbara. And 36 years later, he had this lovely restaurant in Santa Barbara right on the beach. They called it Beachside. And then eHarmony had a sale for $29.95. Dave and I found each other.
Don't you just love how romance works? Food and romance, they go together, right?
They do. And so about 12 years ago, I met my darling Dave and became enamored with him and enamored with his lovely restaurant where we had 12 wonderful years together along the beach with this lovely restaurant. And then just last week, we said goodbye to our restaurant, turned our keys back over, and started our retirement life.
And what's really cool is
love
that
Here
when
in
we
beautiful
met,
Palm
we
Springs.
had no idea what had transpired since
No.
high school.
No.
But what's really beautiful is that you can pretty much pick up and how much we have in common between our love of children, family, food. We're now getting into doing really good nutrition together. We're going to go on a walk afterwards.
Gotta have
and we're
our
going to
walks.
discover some more about each other.
Yes.
But how do we recreate? I mean, we both are 55 plus here, okay?
That's kind.
Kind, yeah. We don't want to say how much more beyond 55 quite yet. But hey, we're proud of it because we feel very healthy and we feel we have a lot to offer from our experience to others. And so we might be doing something really fun. I don't know, a cooking club, more stuff. I want you guys to notice there's no rhyme or reason in terms of the size. Some people love theirs big. But 1 pound, basically, here, I'll give you a towel to kind of
here, I have
okay, good.
I have my clean white
So 1
first.
pound will make 12 jumbo size ones and about 20 mini ones. So we're probably right in the middle because we've got some big and small. I put a little bit of good extra virgin olive oil at the bottom. I brushed it lightly with a pastry brush, and it's on a nonstick pan. And we're now going to put it into an oven at 450 for about 12 minutes. You can kind of just gauge it based on your oven. Afterwards, the key thing is not only how wonderful they're going to smell, but you can eat these by themselves. You can throw them in an amazing sauce. You can use them as an hors d'oeuvre, dip them in different sauces. I mean, and they keep in the refrigerator, right?
Oh,
How
yeah.
long would you say they would keep in the refrigerator?
I would think they would keep for at least 4 days well.
Yeah, 4 days well is just
Yeah,
about right.
yeah.
And you know what? When you're using the best of the best in protein and you don't have all that fat gooky stuff that's attached with your
Yes.
ground sirloins,
It's not gonna.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not gonna fall apart. It's not
Right.
gonna develop that kind of crust on around it.
You'll have some
So-
leftovers for midnight sliders.
Yeah, midnight
Meatball
sliders.
sliders.
See, we're already being creative, guys.
There we go.
So tonight, later on during the day, you'll see the final product, and in the future,
Well, we never know what next adventure might come along.
yep, you might be seeing a lot of us together. All right, you never know. So enjoy National Meatball Day. Hope you learned something easy breezy, fun to get messy in the kitchen.
Thank you for letting me be your
And thanks
helper.
for, wasn't she a great one? Okay, guys, see you next week.
Bye.